Hi, friends and family. How are you? I have my tea. So good. Bodhi's got her toy over there. I hear her squeaking it. Tonight we're going to read Pear and the Dala Horse by Rebecca Hickok and illustrated by Yvonne Gilbert. A Dala Horse is a Swedish toy like this. It's a wooden horse. And you typically see them at Christmas time. All right, Pear and the Dala Horse. This book has really pretty illustrations. Pictures, there's 3 boys, and it says, once, many years ago, in the province of Dalarna, a farmer died, leaving all he owned to his 3 sons. To the eldest, Nils, he willed his farm, the workhorse, and the plow. To the second, Eric, he left his fine riding horse. And to the third son, Pear, was hardly more than a boy. He received a small wooden horse, handsomely carved and painted, which some said had been given to his father by a skurgard, a spirit of the forest. Pictures of the 3 brothers. Each was pleased with his portion, but Nils and Eric scoffed at Pear. What good is a little wooden horse for working a farm? It's enough that it is beautiful, answered Pear. And besides, it may be useful someday. On Sunday morning, when the 3 arrived at church, they found the congregation in an uproar and the parson wringing his hands. The trolls have stolen the gold communion cup from my house, he cried. I should have never taken it from the church for cleaning. It would have been safe here on holy ground. 10 gold pieces to the one who returns it, shouted Merchant Gustav over the din. That night, Pear dreamed that his wooden horse was standing on his pillow. Take me to the trolls, it whispered in Pear's ear. I know how to get the cup back. Here's the pictures. The next morning, Pear told his dream. But Nils announced he had already had a plan for retrieving the gold cup. After breakfast, he hitched the workhorse to the plow and started digging long furrows from the churchyard across many fields and through the woods until he reached the foot of the Trolls' Mountain. After 2 days of plowing that way, Nils began making the furrows across those he'd already dug. At sunset on Thursday, the best night of the week to find trolls, Eric and Pear walked with him to the church. Here, said Pear, take my little horse. Maybe he can help. Nils laughed. I don't need help from a toy, for I have outwitted the trolls. Just remember, warned Eric, if you drink the trolls' brew, you'll lose your memory and become their slave. Don't worry, said Nils. I won't drink a drop. He bade them farewell and strode across the fields and through the forest. He did not stop until he stood on the side of the Trolls' Mountain. Trolls, he called, I'm thirsty. trolls. Now, trolls are lazy creatures, always hoping to capture a human to do their work. So in less than a moment, the earth cracked open and a troll maiden carrying a drinking horn climbed out. "Here, sir, our special brew should quench your thirst," she said, offering them the horn. "Ha," Nils replied. "I am a prosperous landowner. I do not drink from horns." A second troll climbed out of the earth with a silver cup. "You'll find our brew taste especially good after a climb." Nils again refused to take it. "I can drink from silver anytime. Do the trolls have anything finer to offer?" "I guessed." With that, a third troll emerged with the church's gold cup. "Here is our finest," said the troll. "See how it makes the brew sparkle." "Oh, that's more to my liking," cried Nils. He grabbed the cup, dashed the contents at the trolls, and began running down the mountainside. He's got the cup. A fearsome howling rose behind him as scores of trolls poured from the earth and gave chase. Here's the trolls. Can you see him? Chasing him. The noise doubled when they reached the foot of the mountain and found all the cross furrows, for a troll cannot pass over a cross. They can, however, run swift as deer and never tire. Even though the trolls had to run around every cross, Nils was only halfway back to the church when they caught him, gave him a terrible beating, and took back the cup. Oh, after all that, he lost the cup. It says, that night, the wooden horse again appeared in Pear's dream. "Troll magic can work two ways. Take me to get the cup." The next Thursday, Eric tried his luck. "Take my wooden horse," urged Pear. "It's a real horse I'll be taking," replied Eric as he mounted his horse and started out, careful not to disturb Nils' furrows. Eric found the same welcome and used the same trick to get the golden cup. This time, however, when he had it in his hands, he leaped astride his horse and galloped down the mountain. The trolls again streamed after him. Through the crosses slowed them, and Eric's horse was swift. Two of the strongest trolls were nearly alongside as he approached the churchyard. "The tail!" screamed the other trolls. "Grab the beast's tail!" The closest troll did, and just outside the churchyard gate, horse and rider were pulled to the ground. The angry trolls gave them a pounding, then ran back to their mountain with the cup. Oh no. Let's see. That night, once again, Pear again dreamed that his horse was speaking to him. "The wood spirit who carved me knew all the trolls' tricks. Touch me with their brew and see what you shall see." The next Thursday, Pear announced that he was going to rescue the cup. "My little horse will help me," he said. "You'll need more than a toy to escape the trolls," warned Eric. "They're bound to be very angry by now." Nils agreed. "They'll drag you and your horse down into their caves, and then you will need rescuing along with the cup." What are they going to do? See. Nevertheless, that evening, Pear slipped his horse into his pocket and walked off across the countryside. When he was halfway up the mountain, he set his horse on the ground and called out, "Trolls, have you anything to offer a thirsty traveler?" A suspicious troll appeared through a crack in the earth and held out a drinking horn. "No, thank you," said Pear. "Horns are too common." When a second troll offered him a silver cup, he waved it away. "Silver is not my liking." There's the trolls here on the side. The trolls did not want to chase the communion cup again. They formed a ring around Pear before a troll maiden finally came forward holding the precious gold cup. As soon as it was in his hands, Pear poured a few drops of the enchanted brew on the little horse. In an instant, it stood as tall as a stallion. Clutching the cup, Pear leaped to its back. The horse bounded over the circle of trolls and galloped down the mountain with a roar of rage. The trolls raced after them. Look at that. He's riding the Dala Horse. As Pear and his horse approached the churchyard, the two strongest trolls caught up. They reached out to seize the horse's tail, but found only a smooth wood and shiny paint. No tail. Though they scratched and clawed, there was no tail to grab. Pear clutched the cup with one arm and the horse's neck with the other as they flew over the wall and landed in a leap on holy ground. Underworld magic had no power there. The little horse lay on its side, a toy as long as before, except for several deep scratches along its flanks. Says, with his 10 gold pieces, because he returned the communion cup, Pear bought a small farm and soon added to it. In the years that follow, he became one of the wealthiest farmers in the province, but his most cherished possession remained a scratched wooden horse, which he proudly left to his youngest son. There it is. It says, Dala horses are hand-carved, brightly painted toys that have been in the Dalarna province of Sweden for over 150 years. I purchased one in the Swedish-American town of Lindsborg, Kansas several years ago, and right away the little horse begged to be in a story. In search of the right one, I read hundreds of traditional Swedish tales, but none had a Dala horse. I did, however, find a story called Retrieving the Cup in John Lindau's Swedish Legends and Folktales. In this story, an enterprising young man rescues a communion cup by plowing crosses and cutting his horse's mane and tail so the trolls wouldn't have anything to grab. This seemed to me to be the perfect situation for a Dala horse, with its painted mane and tail. The story as recorded is quite short, so in addition to adding my little horse, I also changed it to a traditional three brothers tale. Although this is now more an original story than a true retelling of a folk tale, I have included several themes that appear frequently in Swedish tales, such as the power of the church against otherworldly creatures, Thursday being the best night to find trolls, constant attempts to enslave humans. Pear and the Dala Horse by Rebecca Hickok. It's a good story. Sweet dreams. Good night. Thanks for watching Grandma Alicia's Storytime. Remember to subscribe, and if you feel like it, you can comment your favorite book below, or tell us what you thought about the book we just read. Thank you.